I am seriously conflicted about what to do with this video and generally speaking with my channel. Feel free to make rude comments in the comment down below about what I should do with my channel. I'm only half joking because one of the things about my channel is that I just call it straight, and I know a lot of the channels out there will kind of follow the hype, or they feel like they have to find the good in everything. Don't want to irritate, shall we say, companies like Adidas and Nike, but when it's me and the way I do it, I just kind of call it straight, and when I see what I see, I tell you that. And with these guys, the Adidas Yeezy 350 V2 Cinder, what I see is not a very good shoe. And the thing that I'm conflicted about is whether or not I should, go with that. The reason why I'm about it is because sometimes when I put these videos up, somebody will put a comment down below that says, I just bought these, and then I feel kind of bad that I've trashed the shoe and somebody out there bought them. But then I realize that people have their own opinions. I have my opinion, you have your opinion. If they're different, that's fine. We can still get along. But feel free to hit me up with that comment down below that tells me what your opinion is if it's different from mine. But when it comes to these, the Adidas Yeezy 350 V2 Cinders, not a fan. There's a few things on there that they just didn't get right, and I want to talk to you guys today about why I think the Adidas Yeezy 350 V2 Cinder is not a particularly good shoe. This is a Tokyo About a 23 Sneaker channel. Tokyo About a 23 Sneaker channel. This, Mainichi, absolutely no day, Mainichi meeting design. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today, what's in the spotlight, what's under the microscope, what's in the magnifying glass is the Adidas Yeezy 350 V2 Cinder. And one of the reasons why it is getting a bit of a negative review from me is because of some of the stuff that's come before it, especially in the V2 line. If you know anything about your Yeezy 350 V2s, you'll know that they kicked off round about the winter of 2018, and I think they started with this thing, the Static. I'm pretty sure the Static was the first 350 V2 with the translucent stripe on the side, before you guys go crazy in the comments and tell me about the original V2s that dropped. I'm talking specifically about the translucent stripe on the side that came in with the Statics. Before that, there's some absolutely iconic heat, but we're not getting into that today. What we're getting into is this translucent stripe on the side and these V2s. And it's interesting they're not called V3s, even though the structure of them changed a bit with that stripe on the side, but that's for another day. For today, what we're looking at is why I think this Cinder doesn't quite hold up with the rest in the line. So if we think about those Statics, with those Statics, a big part of it was that they have character and they're interesting. There's a lot going on, and you kind of look at them from different angles and you're like, oh yeah, no, that's cool. With these Cinders, if we look at the whole sneaker, and hopefully behind me here you've got a picture of the lateral side, the thing I wrote in my research about this shoe, and I do research every single video, every single day, I research these videos and find out about them. So when I was researching this video, the thing I wrote was, it almost seems like the colorway just absorbs the light. It just sucks the light out of things. And not in a good way, you know what I mean? Like sometimes that could be a good thing, but in the case of, say, a black hole that just sucks the light out of everything, I'm kind of not feeling these. It's almost like they're not there. I don't know, it's such a weird thing to say. They're Yeezy 350 V2s. They're meant to be visible and like popping and fire, and like everybody's like, oh, check that out, he's wearing those, But these, it's like, I don't think people would notice you wearing them. You know what I mean? It's like they're not there. It's like that guy at the party that after the party you say, oh, did you see John at the party? And you're like, was John at the party? I didn't notice him there. These are the Johns of the party in the sneaker world. Did you notice those Yeezy 350 V2 Cinders? No, I didn't. And they're just too plain. They absorb all the light and they suck the life out of everything. It's a bit much, really, isn't it, to say that, but it's kind of true. So if you look at that, full size, the whole sneaker, and think about the color on there, and think about those Statics and the different kind of two colors interplaying on there. I know the 350 V2 with the translucent stripe have played a lot with colors when you think of glows and things like that. And when you think of one of my favorite sneakers that's dropped recently, the tail lights right here. Now, check a link up to my tail light review. You can click on that now, or you can click on it at the end of the video when it comes back. So doing, there's that tail light review. And when they have character, those shoes, the Statics have character. There's enough color on the tail light for it to have, a bit of different points of view and different perspectives, different angles to look at the thing. But when it comes to these cinders, they're just a poor relation. And you know what they're a poor relation to? They're a poor relation to this thing. That's the Earths that dropped at the same time as the tail lights. They had character, nice looking shoe. It's kind of a triple brown, if you like. And these cinders are also like a triple brown as well. But they just don't have the same character that the Earths had. The Earths had a lot more going for them. And one of the places where I'm just sort of like, wow, with these cinders is on that translucent stripe on the side being in black against a brown sneaker. And it just sort of like, is it a bit lazy? It's a bit lazy to do that and put that on there, the Adidas Lazy 350 V2. So I'm just, the colorway's a bit dull. All of the character and the spark that goes into 350 V2s is kind of gone. So I'm a bit disappointed in that. But then we go down below and there's, you know, the opportunity to sort of do something a little bit more. And again, though, it just doesn't sit with me with that. The black midsole unit and those ridges that run along the edge of it, great, fire, iconic look for a sneaker. But being in black against that brown upper doesn't really work for me. But then they go ahead and take that brown upper and put it on the outsole segment instead of the midsole segment. So you do have a kind of layered effect: brown outsole, black midsole, brown upper, black translucent stripe. So you do have a kind of layered effect there that might be interesting to some people. Just not me. But talking about that outsole, there is a feature that has been played around with a little bit in recent 350 V2 drops, and that's the yellow panel on the back there, the yellow branding panel on the back near the heel of the outsole. They've played with the color on that a little bit recently, and they've gone ahead and done that here, and it kind of looks nice. You know, it's you can see the boost through the windows on the outsole, the dark brown outsole, and then that yellow in contrast, yellow and brown in contrast to each other work really well together. So that's a nice feature, but it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit, if that's the one feature you're basing on your decision to buy these shoes, you're basing your decision on to buy these shoes, then I think maybe you need to reevaluate the way you buy shoes, to be honest. So, but that's not to say I wouldn't kick these guys out of bed for farting, as they say in the UK. If somebody gave them to me, I wouldn't throw them in the bucket. I'd definitely wear them and rock them. So it's just that against all the other 350 V2s and a lot of really fire, iconic. I talk about a lot about what an iconic shoe is. In fact, if you want to see the coolest 350 V2s I've ever seen, check out this video down. They are sample 350 V2s from 3 years ago, but even now they still look fire, and if they dropped them, they'd break the internet. Absolutely cool. Those sample sneakers, very, very cool 350 V2s, and they're just iconic. It's an iconic silhouette, and it's a great looking shoe. So it's kind of just disappointing that they bring out what looks like a run-of-the-mill, very bog standard colorway. So for me, it's a bit of a no. And that's about as much as I'm going to get into with these guys today. I don't really like to drag out talking negatively about shoes, to be honest, because I love them so much, and it's a bit disappointing to have to do that. But like I said, I give it to you guys straight. What I also give to you guys straight is in the mornings, I've been going live recently to talk about the coronavirus situation, which was a big deal in Japan, and there was lots of concern around the world about how that would spread, and people were watching that content, thinking about their own locations. But now that's been reversed. In Japan, it's not such a big deal here right now, but overseas, things are less than smooth. So people have been checking out those live videos that I do every morning. Here's a link to that playlist. If you're interested in the coronavirus in Japan, check that out. And then the last thing to do is for me to talk about the greatest playlist that ever was, which has all of the rarest sneakers in the world in hand from Shoe Butter's Shoe Apartment. And I'll be throwing up that list, that link to that playlist right now, and you'll be able to check that out. And when you click on that, it'll bring up all the other links from the video, and you can choose which one you want to go ahead and look at, that playlist of the rare sneakers in the world or one of the other links. But for now, here's that playlist down, and all I have to do now is to thank you guys for checking out my content. But because I do this every day, that means that you can check in and get your sneaker content from me every single day. But for now, it's time to sign off. Thank you guys for checking in, and because I do this every single day, that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.